record. Yeah, I just started recording now. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right. So, just to cover the basics, it won't take too much of time. I probably this session and maybe another session I will take, and I will just try to wind up the basic stuff for you. Okay.
Hmm.
And after this, what we will try to do is we have already learned so much about VLOOKUPs and everything. We will try to uh, capitalize on that, and we will look into some more advanced level of Excel templates. Okay, especially the ones which you requested for me, which was regarding uh, bill sharing. Whatever people are sharing, whatever people are paying for it, how do you distribute that bill amongst the other people, right?
Yeah, and some other basics like how do you maintain your groceries? Suppose if the expense is now so much, how do you calculate? How will it be 10 years down the line? So all these things, if
Hmm.
how does one do on Excel? That
Sure.
is what I wanted to understand.
Okay. I will try to show you a model which we had developed many years ago, which was basically for a LNP process, life and pensions process. There we had to do a forecasting for how many employees will be needed for running their process. So probably that will be a great exercise to understand how do you do the forecasting using Excel and what kind of parameters come into play. Okay, it's basically a model. It's just like designing a model and then doing stuff on that. Okay, so let's start with this basics. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So what what the basic stuff over here is that uh, I don't know if I would have covered somewhere in the past, but uh, basically the Excel is all made up of rows and columns. Now all the columns are mentioned vertically, as you can see from A to it goes on to XIV. I think is the last XFZ. Sorry, XZF. XFZ means it's like 16,000 columns are used for designing this Excel. This 16,000 limit wasn't there in the earlier versions. In earlier, there was, I think it was only up to 4,000 or something odd columns were there. Now it has increased, ramped up to 16,000 is the limit. Sorry, initially it was 255 columns, if I'm not wrong. It was 255 columns in 2003. From 2007 onwards, they came up with a very good limit of 16,000 columns and around 10 lakh 48,000 records were there. So that's the extent. Any intersection of a column and a row is what we call as a cell. Okay, so in this case, if I keep my cursor over here, I am in a particular cell. Now, how would you try to understand or how would you try to uh, educate yourself that what cell are you right now in? So, can you tell me any indicator which you see on the screen which will help you to understand which column or which row I have placed my cursor right now?
Sir, on the left hand side corner where it is mentioned the
Yeah,
number.
correct. What is that thing called? Do you know?
No, sir.
It's a name box.
Okay.
Okay, it's a very, very effective tool. Now, I'm just going to do a basic thing for you. Say if there are some numbers, okay, uh, say I'm taking up this range of cells. I've picked up. See, I've I've just clicked on this, and I've dragged my column, keeping my left button pressed. I've selected a range of cells over here, and in this range of cells, my cursor is still showing. I mean, the name box is still showing that I'm in C5, but I've dragged from C5 and I come down to L17. So all this area is selected, but the main active cell in this area right now is only C5. Okay, so whatever I do will happen with C5. Okay, now in this case, say I want to write the word Hermit. Okay. So if I start typing like this, Hermit, it's coming up only in C5. But if you want to put this Hermes as a word simultaneously in all these selected cells, what would be the shortcut key for this? Any idea? You may have seen in the past, or we may have covered somewhere in the past. Do you know what is the shortcut for this?
If we have to copy all the cells with Hermit, you mean to say?
No, I'm saying I don't need to copy anything. I want
Huh.
all these highlighted cells to have the value as Hermes
A.
in one go.
So Control A maybe.
No, no, no.
Copy and select and then Control C.
No, no, no. Okay, while you're typing this Hermes, okay, it's in the
Hmm.
edit mode. Okay, how
Hmm.
you know it's in the edit mode? You can always refer to this in the bottom side. Okay,
Hmm.
you can see this is called as in enter mode. Do you see this?
Hmm.
That
Hmm.
means it's in the enter mode. It's in the edit mode. So while it is in the edit mode, the cursor is still blinking. What I will do is I will just press Control Enter together. Okay, Control and Enter together. And what happened? The 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 thing is, the shortcut trick is that when you are entering, when you have selected a range of cells and you are entering a value into one of the active cell and you want to replicate this value to all the cells in the selected range, you just need to press Control Enter. Okay,
Okay.
that's the basic rule. Control Enter. So
Okay.
some people they just feel like, oh, ये magic किया तुमने, कैसा किया. It's a very small trick. Nothing. It's not only with the values, it's also with the formula. Okay, now have you seen me writing this formula often? It's called rand between. You may have seen this formula that I've been writing a lot of times during giving my explanation on anything. Do you know what is this formula all about?
Range between this and this.
Oh yeah, it's basically saying give me any random number between these two limits, 10 and 50 inclusive. I mean, it can be 10, it can be 50, but not less than 10 or not greater than 50.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
so if I selected now, if I press enter over here 23, it means it gave me just a random number. If I want to refresh this, I just press F9. Why do I press F9? Because if you go to formulae and you go to this thing called as calculate sheet, okay, or calculate now, okay, you will see there is a function built in the Excel that in throughout the Excel workbook, whatever formulas which you have created, okay, that will get refreshed if you press F9. So right now, this is also a formula, right? Because we are
Yeah.
using rand between. So if I press F9 on my keyboard, you will see that number has changed to 32. If I keep pressing it, it will keep generating a random number every time when I keep pressing this F9. Okay. So that is
Okay.
one basic thing. Now, the whole idea here was that I want to give this range of cells this random number, the same formula. Again, what I will do is I've selected this the range, and I know I'm on the active cell right now, which is C5. I'll just press F2, which means it allows me to go into edit mode. And now I will press Control Enter. The moment I do this, again, you can see the range of cells, all of them are having the same formula. So no matter whatever static value, whatever formula value, okay, whatever is the value which you're trying to put in the active cell, and if you press Control Enter, it gets replicated throughout the selected range of cells. Okay. Any
So why did you feed F2 before that?
Yeah, because I was in the ready mode. Ready mode means uh, I'm not in the edit mode. You know,
Oh,
you have to be in the edit mode so that you can do the replication of this formula to the range of cells. So it can be possible only when you do it in the edit mode. So right now it's a ready edit, it's a ready mode. If I press F2, I enter in the edit mode. You can see this particular thing over here in the bottom, right? It
Right.
shows in the edit mode. So the moment I do this and I selected this cell and I press Control Enter, it replicates the entire formula into the range of cells selected. Okay?
Yeah.
Any confusion on this so far?
No, so any formula you want to add, you can do this. Whether it's not necessary that you drag it
Yes.
horizontally, even you can drag it vertically and make
Yeah,
it like.
you can
Okay.
do it, but we always, I mean, we as a programmer or developers, we always think that less number of keystrokes should be applied on the keyboard and maximum productivity should be achieved. You should
Okay.
put, you should use minimum keys and get maximum functionality out of your skill set. So that's a
Right.
shortcut. Okay, these
Right.
small things will help you a lot in the future. All right, this is one thing. Now, there is one particular thing which I wanted to show you, which I will show you in this uh, thing. We had created mark sheet. Okay, when we were doing with the uh, Rashmi, we created this mark sheet, and I'm going to create this mark sheet again, but just observe certain things which I'm doing it, and then you will come to know the basics of data entry over here. When you're entering any data into into Excel, say you want to make a report for someone. Okay, so how do you do this in a very fast way, in a very systematic and very easy and uh, very systematic way, I would say, not easy, but a systematic way. Okay, so that's what I'm going to make a mark sheet over here. So to make a mark sheet, what we are doing is we are putting all the names over here. Now let me just increase the font, okay, so that you are able to see this. So we are making a mark sheet kind of a thing. Now this column will represent all the names of the students which we will enter over here. Okay. Now here we are going to enter marks related to 3 tests and 3 quiz. Okay. So I think I created something like a quiz and then a test. So you can see we created quiz 1, quiz 2, and quiz 3, test 1 to test 3. So uh, how do we enter this particular thing? We say, okay, this is quiz 1. Okay, I'm going to enter quiz 1. Now, always, these are small things. Okay, people don't realize it, but it often takes you one step ahead of others. If same task is performed by a group of people, you by using these small things will be able to maximize your productivity by using these small shortcuts. Okay. Uh, so what I do is I want quiz 1, quiz 2, and quiz 3, right? I go to the cell. Now see the cell, see the observation. It's these are the basic things which we try to cover. Now when the cell is in a ready mode, when your sheet is in a ready mode, by default, the behavior of the mouse is such that you will see a white color plus, a big fat plus. Do you see this mouse? It's a big fat plus, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so this means it's in the selection mode. It's in the exploration mode. You can say it's in the exploration mode. You have not selected anything. You are just moving here and there the mouse, so it becomes a white plus. But the moment you go into a cell, okay, to the borders of a cell, any cell you pick up, okay, any cell which you pick up which you have entered some data in this. Say this is the active cell right now, so how do you know the active cell? Again, use the name box. You will come to know that the active cell is B1. The moment you come to the active cell, you will see toward the border of the cell, it becomes a black colored cross bow kind of a thing,
Correct.
right? Okay,
Right.
that means it is expecting you that you are going to select something, you are going to do something with this cell. Okay, and the moment you press F2 and you enter into the edit mode, the mouse behavior goes out. It just looks like a cursor. You can see there's a capital I get created on the mouse icon. which it means that you are trying to insert something into a cell.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so far, this is good. Now, what I will do is I will just press escape and I come back to ready mode. And now I go to the corner of the cell. Now, see, look at this. Look at the behavior. There are three icons of a mouse. One is when you're freely moving anywhere, it's like a white fat plus. When you're going to the active cell, to the borders of the active cell, it becomes a black crossbow. But what happens when you go to the corners? Do you see the arrows disappear, but a, a plus, a black thin plus comes up,
Yeah.
right? So three behaviors of a mouse. Now, when you do something like this, it is it is in the mode where it's saying that okay, you may be dragging this particular cell somewhere. Okay, so what
Correct.
I do is I just left click the mouse. The moment I do this, do you see at the end, at the bottom of my Excel, on the left hand side, do you see that word which says drag out selection to extend series or fill, drag inside to clear,
Correct.
right? So
Yeah.
always read those comments in the bottom. You will come to know what exactly is the behavior of Excel is expecting from you. So what I do is I just drag the cell over here to the next two cells and I release it. What happened? Quiz 1, quiz 2, quiz 3. How many times did I enter the word quiz? I just entered it once, but I used
Yeah.
my skills and I got the replication of it to quiz 2 and quiz 3 automatically, right?
Right.
So this is a small key which is basically it understands that okay, you have entered the word quiz 1, you're trying to drag the cell to the neighboring cells. Maybe you are expecting quiz 2 and quiz 3. Maybe you're expecting a sequence of number series over here. Okay.
Right.
Same thing
Hmm.
happens when you enter something like a Jan. Okay. When you enter Jan, and then when you go to the Jan, you go to the corner of this Jan and you drag this Jan down. It assumes that okay, Jan means maybe you're trying to enter some months. So it comes up
Correct.
with Feb, March, April, May. These are because these are by default some enums, enumerators you can say, which are built into the Excel. Now, how do I know that this was built into the Excel? It's very simple. You can go to the file, you can go to the options. Within the options, you can go to I think it's in the general or the advanced, I believe. Um, Give me a moment. Yeah, in the advanced, I go to custom list, edit custom list. And when I click this edit custom list, you can see my list is already populated, pre-populated over here. Okay, you can see it is like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There's a week sequence given. Then there is a proper like a Monday, a complete day given over here. Similarly, that same thing is applied with the Jan with the months over here. There is another sequence which you can see. Um, so you can also create your own sequence. Okay, if I want to make my own sequence, say there are only 10 people in my class. Okay, there are always going to be a 10 people in my team. So I give them some names. Say Hermes is one, Vijay is another, maybe there is Gaurav, there is um, Harry, there is uh, Gurpreet. So okay, let's make five. Say these five people are always going to be a part of my analysis. Okay, I can select this, I can go to this options. I'm sorry, I don't know why this thing is coming again and again. Whenever I go to the corner on that thing comes up. Okay, I go to
So this
advanced.
is the newer version, right? Even my laptop has this saving method. And I find it very irritating as compared to the earlier version.
That's true.
Then you have to search the files, this, that. I don't know what happens.
Okay, so I go to this edit custom list, and here I see a new list. Let's make a new list. Okay, I'm trying to import this from G2 to G5. I can say import. So I have imported them. You can see this. This is an entry, a new entry which has come over here. Harmeet, Vijay, Gaurav, Harry, and Gurpreet. I click on OK, and then I click on OK. Now, whenever in a new Excel sheet, okay, if I'm using Hermes, okay, if I use this, and now if I go to the corner of Hermes and I try to drag this, do you see that?
Yeah.
Automatically it came up with Vijay, Gaurav, Harry, Gunpreet. I didn't have to place anything into it. So you can customize your own list of people whom on which you are going to do the analysis. Okay, this
Right.
is another shortcut trick. Now, coming back to our mark sheet. So once we have done this, I now need to enter test one again. I just enter it as test one over here, and then I go to the corner and I drag it for two neighboring cells. I again get test two, test three. Now I have done with my headers. I want to just go and say total and maybe a percentage grade. Okay, so I just go to total and I go to grade. Okay, maybe I will say it's a percentage grade. Okay, just a moment. Uh, okay, so now we come on to the second thing. Here I will try to enter this name. So let me try using this again. If this really works, I think I deleted them. Maybe okay, it's still there. It's still in the custom list. So I just dragged Hermes. I entered Hermes and I dragged it down and I got the whole list with me. So these are my students, right? Now we come on to okay, so maybe I'll drag it over here one step down because this is going to be my max marks. I'm expecting some maximum marks for this quiz. So maybe for the quiz, I'll say there are 20. Okay, there are 20 marks. Sorry, so sorry. There are 20 marks for this. Uh, now all the quiz will have 20. So let's drag this 20 and let's see what happens over here. Now, when you drag a number, okay, there is no such customized list we have prepared like 20, 21, 22, something like that, right? So what it does it for a number, it will never do that increment. It is expecting you to put a formula or maybe use sequence function if you want the number to be added in the incremental order. So by default, numbers will not go any changes. Numbers, if you drag it, it will still show you the same. So here is 20, 20 coming up. Now for test, I'm putting it 100. Okay, I'm putting 100 as a maximum marks. Again, I go here and I drag this and I get this. Now total. I want to know what is the total marks, total number of max marks which a student is going to appear. What do you think? What will be the function we will use over here for total?
Either that sign of auto sum or is equal to sum of this and this.
So you're saying this particular autism, right?
Yeah, select
Yeah.
the.
Or else, what is the shortcut key for this? The shortcut key is Alt plus equal to. Okay, you
Okay.
can see over here it's written Alt plus equal to. So if I press Alt and equal to, the beauty of Alt and equal to or AutoSum is that it automatically tries to understand what is the neighboring cells where you have a continuous fashion of numbers entered. It will try to select that numbers which are kept over there and will try to show you that is this the range which you want to add. Okay, it's not giving you the final answer. See, it's in the edit mode right now. It has
Correct.
selected that. Sorry.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So it is waiting for your answer. Is this correct? Am I doing this thing correct? So you can say, okay, you're doing correct. Now, if you want to do one small another behavior, if you want to see of Excel, you can see that the sum is happening. What will happen if I press enter? What do you think will be the behavior of Excel? What will happen now if I press enter? Okay, I'm just
Um,
focusing on minute things today because basics are all about exploring the small things, because those small things will create a big momentum for you someday.
okay.
So tell me, what will happen if I press enter now?
Will probably not add.
No, it will add. It will give you the answer. But what will be the behavior of Excel? After you press enter, you will see the sum. But what will
Yeah.
happen to the active cursor? Now, right now, if you see the active
We'll go
cursor
to the final H. We'll
H,
go to the
which
H
cell?
cell. H. H2.
It will be in H2, you're saying, right? Okay,
Yeah.
let me press enter. Okay, it's went to H3. Okay,
Okay.
but it's fine. See, I wanted you to have this small things, because every Excel will never do something on its own. It is wait for you to trigger that event, and based on whatever you have triggered, it will give you a response. If you want the response to be that after you enter your formula, the cursor should go to the next row in the same column, you always press enter, like the way we did right now. Okay, it goes into H3, which is a new row in the same column. If you want to stay on the same cell after you have entered your formula, or after you have entered your values, okay, like in this way, I can press control enter. If I press control enter, I'll remain in the same cell, H2.
Right.
Okay, again,
Right.
if you are not interested in staying in the same column, you want to move to uh, say the next consecutive column, which is I2. In this case, if you want to move to
Tab.
I2, you can press tab. It will move
Tab.
to I2. If you want to go to G2, which is one column on the left of your active column, okay, you can press shift tab.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Okay, so these are the four possible ways, okay, where you can move, and you can control the behavior of your Excel file. All right,
Right.
any confusion on this?
No, sir.
No, right? Now, uh, say we want to add random values over here for these users or these students. Okay, uh, how would you prefer to enter? Now, I remember that I made Rashmi enter manually all these values when we were doing it in the class session. She was trying to enter on her own. How would you enter?
So is equal to random between this and
Okay,
this.
okay, you're using a rand function, right? Rand between
Yeah.
function. Uh,
Yeah.
say I'm just ignoring that rand between for ultimately I'm going to use rand between, but I just wanted you to think from a data entry perspective. A data
Right.
entry operator, if he doesn't know anything about rand between, he's just told that these are the marks which you are given on a paper. Enter these marks in these cells. So how would that data operator enter his information? How would a normal user enter?
Go
Just
to individual cell and keep
just keep on
putting
entering,
the
right?
mark.
So you give me
Yeah.
any number. Give me any number out of 20.
52
Out of 20, sorry.
out of 20. Okay.
You are so
18.
generous, thank you. But yeah, 18. Okay.
Okay.
And
18.
then what should I
12.
do? Should I press enter?
Yeah. Enter. So it will go to the next cell.
Okay. And then press 12. Press enter
Yeah.
again, right?
Yeah.
Then
6.
6. Okay. Then
10.
10. And
15.
now what should I do? Should I press enter? Should I do what should I do?
So if you press enter, it will go down. Instead, if you press tab maybe
Okay,
or control enter, it will remain there only. Or tab will go to the next
yeah, control enter will remain here, or tab will go here, or you will have to go take your mouse, click on
and go
this,
to the first. Yeah, quiz.
right? So again,
Yeah,
you will type all these things. Then again, by typing all these things, then you will click on this, keep entering, then click on this, keep entering. Don't you think
correct.
that the behavior of mouse is interrupting your speed,
Yes.
right? So there is another way in which you can do your entering of your data. What you can do is you can probably select these cells over here. Okay, I'm just deleting these values again. I'm going to show you how to properly enter. Now you select these values. By default, it's showing you the active cell is B3, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now I press 18. I just press tab. I press say 17. I press tab. I press now 16. Then I press tab. See, I'm not doing anything with the mouse. Mouse is staying separate. All I'm doing is I'm just using my keyboard and I'm entering the data in a very orderly sequential manner,
Right.
right? If you don't want to go with the horizontal with the this kind of horizontal flow, you want to go vertical flow. You want to say no, I want to go with Harmeet, Vijay, Gaurav, Harry, and Gurpreet. Okay, that's also fine. What I can do is I can select this. I can then say okay, 18, enter, 16, enter, 17, enter, 12, enter, 15, enter. Automatically goes to the next cell, which was Hermes again. It's the same thing which you were doing with your mouse, but by using only the keyboard, you can enact the same sequence, but only by using your keyboard. Only if you knew how you need to enter your data in a systematic fashion,
So you
right?
meant to say that you have to select the cells and then
Correct.
start doing.
Correct. If you
Okay. Okay.
if at any moment of time you are supposed to enter this data manually from a paper sheet or something like that, this is the best way to enter your data. This is what we always teach any data entry level operator to enact these skills and to be more productive, to be more faster in producing his results. Okay.
Right.
Any
Yeah.
confusion on this so far?
No, sir.
Correct.
No, sir. Nothing. Yeah.
So let me do one thing. We have 3 minutes. I will generate another link and just send you in a couple of minutes. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So
Yeah.
see you on the other call. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks.
Yeah.